Hey guys, Jay from Lords of War on this Thursday, August 17th. So yeah, rolling along here with the summer. Today's little video is just about kind of what we have in the store. It's been a while since I've done a walkthrough of some of the products. There's always new products. Also, it gives people an idea of maybe like some interesting items that are back in stock. So anyway, I know we have an extensive web store, but sometimes it's nice to get a visual. And if you haven't been in the store a while, like in the last 3-4 months, yeah, some changes have been made. We've added added a lot of more products, rejigged the store a bit. You can see there's our little board game zone here. We're always finding ways to jam more shelves, more things. So yeah, so I'll start over here in the front when you walk in. We've got our well-known and legendary Green Stuff World section. So there's also this is kind of the tuft zone. So we've got all kinds of colored tufts here. We've been carrying gamer's grass for a little while too. This stuff is always hard to keep in stock. You got tons of colors. Every type of occasion. You got like winter, burned ground, things like that. There's a lot here. You almost have to dig through it. They've also been doing these pre-made basing bits. For those of you that are lazy or maybe don't have a 3D printer and you just want it as columns and stuff, want to just have small things you can litter your bases with. We've got tiny leaves, and then from Green Stuff World, more of these big chonk tufts with lots of color. These are huge. This is 14 millimeters. It's quite large for a miniature, so you can really do that. If you want to be really time-consuming and detailed, you've got these this is an etched paper kind of shrubs or ferns and things like that. Continuing on, got bank of rollers. These continue to be always ever popular. Getting the textured rollers, you can put some green stuff on a base and just imprint the design. Always good. Only takes probably one evening of your time and you can base your whole army on interesting bases. More cool items I'm hearing. These are little tubs of flock. Textures. This is, if you haven't caught on to this yet, this is probably one of the coolest little products that we have that actually a lot of people we do sell a lot of it online, because people watch videos and stuff, but this is basically a metallic powder, and you add medium to it, and then you get this extremely chromy, bright metallic. In this case, they're various golds and coppers. Yeah, I was kind of oh, this seems like a gimmick, and then I kind of saw it in action. I was like, holy moly, it's very exciting, very interesting. I'm gonna probably do an army with that one of these days. And you get a lot of mileage out of this too, because this is all powder. This is not mix of medium and pigment or whatever. You can just one of these is a ton of paint. Yep. Continuing on, we got our what are UV resins. There's somewhere around here. Oh, here we go. There's if you want weird. This is kind of a newer item. It's demon blood. There's a weird Tau blood too, I think, which is kind of funny. If you want to have I don't know, dead fire warriors or something. Here's your legendary giant pack of green stuff. 3 feet for about 27 bucks. More than you need. More tufts over here. So this is kind of the tuft zone. Got our good value tools by Army Painter, cutting boards. More colored textures if you want to just get a big jar of texture. So think of Citadel, Sterling Earth, sorry. What do you call it? Astrogranite, Sterling Mud, Armageddon Dust, things like that. So this is the same type of stuff, but you just get a much bigger volume and for a better price. So, and you get different colors as well. There's also neutral gray and white and things like that. And some tools over here. I swing back around. Got an AK rack of military colors. Actually these get used a lot in Warhammer and Wargaming too, because there's a lot of kind of more realistic colors that you might want that you don't commonly see. So actually this is a color I like using a lot too. It's French artillery color. Gets kind of it's an interesting gray color because they're tealy color. It's not quite sometimes when we use the kind of the Valeos and Citadels, you get kind of the vibrancy is too much, so you want those kind of in-between tones. There's another interesting cool color to paint your army with. So is this mustard yellow. That's kind of cool. It's kind of it's a good equivalent to Averland Sunset or something if you want it in a dropper bottle. So there you go. You kind of find those here. We got some water soluble pencils. Those are cool for a little bit of weathering. We got powders for your bases. If you haven't tried that for an army, it's very cool. It gives it a very kind of cool dusty look. Very easy to do. I'm gonna get a restock of pigment very soon. not pigment, pigment fixer, sorry. And this is what you use to stick the powder on so it doesn't get all everywhere. Then we've got our acrylic tube paints by scale, our popular fantasy and games colors. This is the whole scale 75 zone. So you got scale color, instant colors if you want their version of contrast paint. Down at the bottom shelf we've got some, what do you call them? Color shifters by Webstore World. These were kind of new, kind of semi-recently. They're like really vibrant. These are inks that Scale put out that are matte finish, which is like kind of rare. Usually inks are like shiny. So I know if you guys were all over those when they came in. We've got the giant, continuing on with the theme of paint, the AK3G rack, which has some holes in it that'll be filled shortly in the next week or so. This is the paint that I would say I probably used the most the last couple of years. Yeah, just love the way it flows, the way it mixes. It's got a matte finish. Nothing wrong with the other paint lines, but I don't know, for whatever reason, I just kind of attached myself to it and continue to use it. Here's our kind of our rejigged till zone if you haven't seen it before or lately. Starting with all the primers and glues that you need and varnishes. So I got good healthy stock of that. Quickly over here, got a Pokemon zone if you're into any of that. We got a new set of Obsidian Flames came out. Really pretty cards if you got kids or if you're into the game yourself for a collector. Always fun to open packs of Pokemon. Or if you're like me, getting into it with my 6-year-old. So he likes to just sort cards and look at cards and play dumbed down version of the game, but it is still fun. Then we got kind of our D&D dice, lots of dice. Got a restock from Foam Brain recently, so there's the ever popular mystery loot. And then we have like token sets for different classes, jars of dice, giant Titan D20s, dice bags, these like cool dragon skin dice bags, which are only like 20 bucks. They're actually really cool. And then you got the D&D book zone, all your books. We also have like a continuing expanding lineup of Pathfinder books. We got our like mishmash wall of Nulzer's pre-painted figures. These are the great affordable D&D figures. So if you're not really a figure painter or collect a lot of figures and but you want to get like little characters for your D&D games, these are like usually like $7 or $8 for a blister, which is really cheap. They're also pre-primed, so you can paint them. Then we got the enormous Marvel Crisis Protocol lineup. Continues to do well. Lots of awesome figures. They keep making cool new ones and just never ends. It's a great IP. The game is a ton of fun. If you want to get your table game to play with kind of like almost like a board game, it's got more detail than a board game, but you know, how does that feel? Because it's just a handful of figures on a smaller board, and they get to do various epic maneuvers. It's definitely a great product to jump into. We've got kind of a Star Wars zone here. We've got the newer game, Star Wars Shatterpoint, which came out in June. This is from the same people that make Marvel Crisis Protocol. And it is really cool. Beautiful miniatures. So you get like, well, this box is like crazy. It's like intense. The starter box, yeah. So great value. You get a whole table worth of terrain. You get a bunch of amazing figures. They're all kind of a little bit bigger scale than you're used to. But they are in that nice hard styrene plastic and just a joy to paint. So highly recommend checking that out. It's a new game, so just kind of getting going. There's every like month they've got kind of a couple new releases. This was kind of the latest exciting one. You got General Grievous, who's a huge model. Super cool. And also, yeah, they got this like really cool Vader diorama you can get. It's one of the only ways to get Vader right now before he comes out on his own. And he's fighting Obi-Wan in this like really cool vignette. And you get like, because it's like a bit of a premium kit, you get like a cool foil card for both of them. Then if you want to play Star Wars on a bigger scale with like armies of guys, then you've got Star Wars Legion. You might be familiar with. Bunch of stock of that. These are also plastic kits that you build and paint. More board games. These are all our like escape room games. All these, all the exit and unlock games. So you want to play like a one-shot escape room game? Those for that. And behind the till, I got Flesh and Blood. Continuing on with some TCGs that we do. Flesh and Blood, if you haven't checked it out, is Closest analog to Commander Magic format. So different game though. So you have like character classes that you build decks around, and you duel each other. It's super fun, beautiful cards. More Pokemon there, and then we've got the airbrush zone. So if you're familiar, we used to carry we've been carrying Hardened Steamback for a long time, but we used to kind of keep it locked away behind the tail. Now it's kind of a little more accessible next to the tail, so you can still keep some eyes and arm's reach on it. But you can see we got a healthy stock of that. We carry various needles, nozzles, spare parts. But yeah, if you're looking for an airbrush, this is the one-stop shop. Incredible brand for the price, and we sold literally hundreds of these all over Canada, and they're fairly bulletproof. And the company labels us as a dealer, so any problems at all, you come back to us and we can help you out. So highly recommended there. Then we've got the AK diorama rack, so more texture jars. There's like snows and ices and muds, everything you need to make your bases look cool. Over here on the left, continuing on, Redgrass Games. So we got everlasting palettes, as well as sheets and sponges. If you don't have a wet palette, get one. I'm just going to leave it there. We got Artist Opus brush sets, dry brushes. Here's our brush zone. This is where we keep all our various amazing brushes. So everything from our like amazing value brand, the AS Handover. Then we got the high quality Artist Opus series, the world renowned dry brushes you can buy individually if you like. Although the set is very nice. You can see it there. This is the 5 brush set that's just kind of new this year. So if you want everything, including the big chunky brush in a nice box set, there's that. Comes with the soap and the sponge. The other, probably our favorite pick for like best bang for the buck, probably is also the Green Stuff World Silver series. Down below we've got Vallejo metallic colors, which are also mega popular. Really nice pigments. So we've got the Vallejo model game color that got re-released this past February. Also falling in love with these. I'm starting to use more and more myself all the time. These are kind of like from a color palette the most similar to Citadel. Great value. They're $5 each. They redid them. They flow beautifully. Have a little bit of a matte finish. Highly recommend checking that out. Another specialty item. It's going to be nothing but special items here. This is the Down and Dirty special effects stuff. So if you're not sure, just YouTube Down Dirty Rust, for example, and you'll be blown away. This is like a magic potion of a paint that you can just stir up and then apply on a model to get this like incredible realistic rust. So yeah, really, really cool product. So, and they come with a few other flavors. There's like a moss, a verdigris, yellow rust. More brush sets. This is also a beautiful brush set. Great gift of the Gold Series Kolinsky Sable brushes that Green Stuff World releases. Super nice. I got some speed paint, Chimera paints. We still have stock of this. Can't stock it enough. These are the really high pigment mixing paints. So if you really like mixing your colors and really getting into the weeds of color theory and stuff, these products are it for you. They really give you that control that you desire there. At the bottom I've got a bit of a sleeper item here too that maybe not enough people know about. If you're someone who really relies on the dry brush kind of technique to do a lot of heavy lifting for you, this is a set of paint that is really conducive to dry brushing. It's got a bit of thickness to it, but it doesn't dry out. It's not chalky. Yeah, really nice paint. I would definitely recommend for any dry brushing. You get nice chunky jars. They have wider lids, like open mouths, so you can get your brushes in there. Moving on, we've got the oil paints. So we got Aptilling oil paints, because that's always a thing. We're always looking for oils to do various pin washes and techniques with. Swinging back around, of course, can't forget, we've got Vallejo model color, Citadel paint line, and everything that comes with it. Always keep that stocked, and our AK enamel rack. So here's all the you can see the always popular Streak and Grime, either sold out or selling out, and actually out of some of the small jar spirits. But anyway, this stuff is great for also doing beautiful subtle weathering on models, and because they're enamels, you can use turpentine to, like, if you put some on and you don't like the way it looks, the turpentine will take it off and it won't affect the paint job underneath, so, which is very forgiving. I'm just going to swing quickly in this little alcove we've set up. This is currently where we keep all our figures, like our busts and 75 mils and 54 mils, all these kind of larger high quality resin figures that you can, they're just kind of for painting. They're great subjects to really push your limits, try new things. They're just a joy to work on. As well here, I'll quickly touch on these. Are like, they look like little makeup things. It's basically like an enamel paint with an applicator. It's very clean and easy to use. They're kind of cute. You can do some really quick, easy blends with those. Definitely worth checking out. Some more figures, as you got a lineup of Big Child Creative figures. I really love painting these. I always paint a couple every year. The models are just super cool. You can see lots of variety. They came out with like a whole bunch of gladiators and Romans and hoplites and things like that. So we've also got some plinths. Got a Pro Acryl rack, which always does well too. Pro Acryl is kind of the new guy in town for the last couple of years. Really nice paint. Big jars of paint too. You get 22 mils. Nice matte finish. Some pretty cool colors. I would say they're one of the rare companies that has like a proper jade color, which is cool. They have nice metallics, so really hot. Got some paint guides and books and sets. Down this alley, you got your Battlefront miniatures. So that includes games like Flames of War and Team Yankee. We continue to be one of the few places that carries this. Very cool product. If you like 40K and you like World War II, then definitely check it out. Most of the models, most of these kits are plastic. Let me find the most popular kit. I think you can guess what it is, maybe. You know what? This is the second. Oh, no, there it is. There we go. There it is. How about, there you go, box of Tiger tanks. This is an army in a box, by the way. You could just play this. It's kind of wild, but yeah, full plastic, high quality kits. These models are in 15 millimeter, which basically means a Tiger tank is like, I don't know, the width of this box is like 3 inches or something like that. And they're about like this tall. So you get to paint kind of like bigger scales of armies. You get to have like platoons and squadrons of things. They've got infantry and planes. These boxes in front of me are Americans. There's like Germans, Soviets, British, all that. They have an incredible starter box. It's like $80 or something like that. Everything uses cards, like stack cards and things. So very clean, easy game. Gives you the feel of commanding a big army of tiny guys. Actually, not too difficult to paint. You can just paint everything greens and browns. You don't have to paint any faces. They do some infantry here. These are like little infantry look like. Cute guys. So if you're kind of excited about the upcoming 40K epic or whatever you call it, the Horse Heresy epic, then you would probably like this too. And then their other product, which is also very popular, is their fictional World War III scenario. Team Yankee is what the game is called, and so you get like various equipment and tanks and things from the 70s and 80s and things like that. So you got like Leopard tanks, which is actually pretty, you know, what do you call it, contemporary right now. These are being used actively right now. Yeah, so very cool models. Yeah, really nice like change of pace sometimes. So yeah, and because you don't need a lot of kit, like it's kind of an affordable game. If you collect a lot of 40K, then you're kind of familiar with that costs. Here the model kits are similar priced, but you only need a few, so it's kind of cool. We got our BattleTech zone. So here's entire bookshelf of that. This product and game has done really well since it's been effectively revived in beautiful plastic and no assembly required. So if you want a quick game to jump into that you can literally pop out of a pack, slap some paint on and play right away, this is it. And the other thing that really changed the game is not the classic BattleTech isn't amazing, but they have something called Alpha Strike, which is a version of BattleTech that plays a little bit more like your standard kind of 40K, where you can bring a bunch of mechs, play relatively quickly, blow each other up, things like that. So, and I'll also quickly mention that we do have a community that checks this out every Friday. So there's their poster there. Demo games, pickup games, things like that. They meet every Friday. And you can see you've got Adam there on our Discord, who's the awesome gentleman who kind of organizes that. So if you're looking for a little game, something different, also good. And I'll move on quickly. Here's our Citadel or Games Workshop specialist game wall. So this includes things like Warhammer Underworlds, Warcry, Necromunda, Ash Waste, Horus Heresy has grown into its own section. What else? Some Blood Bowl, regular Necromunda. Yeah, it's Titanicus. Although a lot of Titanicus and Aeronautica has been just getting chomped. People are buying it up. This all, like, you know, I had, you know, two or three times as many kits on this whole shelf was packed full of tiny planes and tiny titans, but for obvious reasons those are sold out until further notice. Going around here, if you can ignore the fan, it is hot. I've got all the orange boxes and black boxes. That's Infinity. That's the if you haven't checked that out, that is the skirmish cyberpunk type of sci-fi game where you bring, you know, a dozen specialty models, and they use various things like hacking and I don't know, high-tech exosuits and things like that to fight on a 4x4 table. What makes this game very unique is that it plays with D20s, so you get a bit of this RPG feel with like how things can. You can kind of like, if there's an ability or skill you can think of, you can basically do it. So models can go prone, they can climb walls, they can go camouflaged, you know, things like that. So very cool. And we have a group of people that come every Friday as well that play this game, and it's been an anchor here at the store since we opened. So it's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's been here for a long time, and yeah, really stunning, beautiful kits. You know, things like this. Look at this thing. This is called the tag. This is like a suit that a pilot sits in. It's heavy armored. It's about 1-to-1 with the box, maybe a little smaller. You can see. Pretty cool. Yeah, definitely check it out. And then we go into what you're used to. So here's our 40K wall. Trying to touch on some things that we have in stock that maybe you're looking for. Got some more veteran guardsmen back in. That's cool. I think I'm getting Kazarkin again someday soon, maybe next week. I've got all our various combat patrols, got a few boarding patrols. These are not going to last forever. Any of these specialty bundles. Combat patrols will stick around for a while. I get good stock of sisters, got a Morgan Ball, Celestine, things like that. Good selection of Eldar. I think the only thing I don't really have for Eldari is the Wraith Knight. But all your other disgusting strong models, I have some stock of. Actually, I think Wraith Guard I'm also out of, but hopefully we'll get some more of that in soon. They've been doing really well. Lots of Gene Stealer cults, Orcs, Necrons, Tau. I think I still have a Foresight somewhere down there. Here's your Space Wolves, Chaos Marines, lots of Chaos Marine stuff. Basically, full stock of that. You got Chosen, Possessed, Raptors, Lord Discordant. Got to paint one of these guys one day soon. He's super cool. Yeah, Invocatus. I got some World Eaters. Lots of Space Marines. I got a Ravenwing squad. Hopefully get some Deathwing back in. Yeah, lots of good stock of Marines. Got some Thousand Suns back in. Death Guard. Mechanicus. Black Templars, lots of Custos, lots of Votan, yeah, so good stock of that. There's some blisters. I always got spare bases. There's my basing zone. Got some, always try and carry some tableware cases. These are the cases with the shelves with magnetic sheets. And the shelves can be adjusted, so kind of a must-have if you like to travel with your army. Well, probably not going to fly with this, but if you're traveling around between cities, it's amazing. Yeah, I have like 3 of these, and because it has a plexiglass window, your army can also sit on display in there, which is very cool. Keeps the kids away. Some AOS blisters. We've got our kind of some terrain and Lord of the Rings. We try and carry some of the newer Lord of the Rings kits that came out in plastic, as well as some rule sets. And the terrain is always super nice. Always sells well. People love it. And I'll finish off with some Age of Sigmar. So good stock of there. Got all the Cruel Boys. Got lots of OBR, Soulblight, Night Haunt kits down there. What else? What's something that's I still have an Ironclad. Got all good stock. Pretty much everything. I mean, the Seraphon are always getting pillaged recently out of Agrodons, but trying to have a bit of everything else. What else we got? Good stock of Chaos and Chosen. A couple of boxes of Chosen. Got Warriors. Up there we got all the Demon Princes and things like that. All the greater demons. You get yourself, let's see, all these things are hot. Bellicor. I got Demon Prince there. Just finished one of those. Amazing kit. A little bit annoying to build, but very cool kit. otherwise, Lumineth. Yep, so that's that, and then I'll finalize. Yeah, other little. I guess it's a feature. Obviously, is our renowned paint table. So we custom made this to make sure we had just an amazing place to sit and paint and work on your hobby. You can seat 8 or 9 people. So always recommend people come and make use of that. Got some cabinets here. Got some. We've got. I'll show off this shelf. We got our the Stormcast I did last winter. Oh, yeah, Chris has been. This is his start on a Seraphon army that he's adding to now. So yeah, we got loads and loads, tons of shelves of armies with my Hedonites, of course this Nurgle, my Lumineth. So yeah, case after case, shelf after shelf of really pretty models. Some endless spells I painted. My Belcor in the back. Yeah, so yeah, I hope we inspire people and have the know-how and try and really help people with their projects and make the appropriate suggestions and help them out. And then lastly, lights off right now. No one's down there, but we have our gaming space. I got space for about 10 or 12 tables. So either way, yeah, thanks for taking the time. And don't forget, lordsofwargames.com is our web store. You can always ask questions there. Browse the web store. Always recommend using the search feature. It's pretty robust. You can keyword whatever, and it'll find it more or less. So yeah, that's kind of the state of the stock right now. So thanks for your time. We'll check you later.